I was good, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's in good spirits, and if you're not, hopefully you're trying to get there. So let's this video is going to be about this rant is going to be about the Aquarian Age. Well, the Bible, or the Torah, if you want to call it that, and you figure out, you do your own research on why they pick and choose the name, has some truth to it, because man is the most studied creature, more than dogs, rabbits. See, when they're talking about the Pavlovian, they're not talking about dogs. They're talking about you. You know what I mean? So, we're the most studied creatures on this planet. So they comprehend majority of the masses. Then people who wiggle up out of these mass indoctrinations, they know how this shit is going to pan out. They know it's going to fall on deaf ears, and then we end up thinking we're the problem because we're not like everybody else, in which there's some truth to that, you know? So I wanted to get into the Aquarian Age. The Aquarian Age, as many people want to say it, so remember, they win people over with slogans. Give them a fucking slogan. They'll repeat it. So they'll say, "Oh, this is the information age." Check yourself. It's the disinformation age. Or what did they call that? The paradigm shift. A paradigm shift. I mean, the new man, the age of Aquarius, where Jesus says, "Hey, when you go into town, you'll see a man with a pitcher of water. Follow him upstairs, because my Father has many mansions." So, the Aquarian Age is the new norm. What was normal is no longer. Women being women, men being men, that don't exist anymore. It's not even normal anymore. That's why we're doing these transgenders in the bathroom. Okay? And not to mention, they're targeting the children, because you go after the youth. You know what I mean? You're going for that generation. They ain't worried about nobody's grown ass. So, I mean, all in all, this is really child abuse. The government, govern means to control, ment means mind. Mind control. The mind control does, okay? So, the Aquarian Age, that's these Babylonian Israel, their true religion, which is basically governance, debt, slavery, and the abomination of men, and to divide the family. So Israel, is it real? I don't know. Isis represents the moon. Ra represents the sun, of course. One being fire, one being water. So it's the merging of man and woman to an androgynous hermaphrodite. That's what the Aquarian Age is all about. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm going to be giving some information out that will help people, which I know people are just going to steal my fucking work and take credit for it, but, you know, fuck it. Fuck, I look like holding on to this shit to my grave. I'll get into some other information out later about, especially for women who want to bear children. You're going to bear children in this day and age. You better have some information. So that child don't come out retarded or with a limp wrist. Okay? Because this is a chemical warfare. It's a psychological warfare. Anything. You ever heard the expression, all fair and love and war? Okay, that's what's happening. So, there's many things going on, even in the so-called conscious community, which I swear to God, the more people think they conscious, is the more they're fucking knocked unconscious. Like, I was listening to Sinetta and House of Conscious. They were brawling. It was like more of the house of the knocked unconscious. You know what I'm saying? All this violence, man. What the fuck? What type of spirituals? That, man, y'all fucking up the spiritual movement like a motherfucker. And to the point, I digress, that these people are talking about shit I'm not sure if they know or they do know, but they're pushing their fucking agendas. You talk about rhesus monkey. Alright, I could guarantee you the same people talking about rhesus monkeys talking about Anunnaki. Because it's a eugenics program. Some people talking about Neanderthal. They're talking about eugenics. Remember, man, information, which is air, which is the mind or intellect, is a double-edged sword. That's why it's so many schools of thought on where this shit stems from. And there's more things I need to study. I comprehend that, but I tell you one thing. I'm not one of the best, but I follow the best. Okay? So we're in this new world order. And so don't think your thoughts are your own. I mean, I could be so fucking cocky, but I could be so wrong. There's some good parts in that Bible. There's some really good shit in there. It is some great stuff to acknowledge. But you take what's good and you leave what's the bullshit. Yes, honor thy father and thy mother. Honor them. Period. Those are your gods, man. You know, I need to acknowledge that. Hopefully you acknowledge that already. I mean, if you a smooth motherfucker, you already got that. But remember, the truth is not popular. So that's why there's a Broadway in every city. Because the truth is not broad, it's fucking narrow. The Broadway is where all you're going to see the yahoos. And I don't have no problem with the yahoos. There's not a war on the yahoos because I study this shit. Just because I study this shit don't mean everybody else needs to fucking study it. That's what I'm here for. So, when there's esoteric and there's exoteric. Eso means inner. Exo means outer, like for the profane. That's for the exoteric is basically is for people who don't really quite comprehend higher knowledge, highbrow things like philosophy. So just keep in mind that this stuff you guys are checking out, this is a game plan already put forth that they've been doing maybe for thousands of years, man. This is nothing fucking new. Okay? Like I said, there's some bullshit in that book, but there's some good stuff. But you must use a filter. Your brain must be a filter. When Jesus says, I will turn father against son, did he mean by that? And like I said, there wasn't no damn Jesus. It's just a metaphor, just a parable, allegories to reach you to different schools of thought. See, we're living in hell, and it's up for us to, I mean, Nelly Fuller says don't celebrate. I say fuck that. It ain't everything about no white supremacy now. And that's another thing. I'll get into that subject later for my people who get so tunnel vision and thinking you know who your enemies are. You know, that was the whole thing about let's go back to Moses. They wanted a God that they can see and touch. But the real people, they don't worship what you can't see. You know what they really worship? And that's why if you look at the pyramid on the dollar bill, it's floating above, like the letter I, the dot. It floats above. See, that's air. The god of air. The wind god. Wednesday. Luciferian. Not necessarily Luciferian. I'll get into Luciferian later, because a lot of people get that all fucked up, man. But this is what we're living in. We're living in a place where if you not speaking on some stupid shit, you ain't gonna get no attention. See, this thing called confirmation bias is real. People are already looking for information that confirms their already belief system. See, y'all don't know why I changed from Jimmy Black to Black Bubbles, which is weird because now I can't change it back. But my whole game is to burst bubbles. Burst bubbles. Not to believe, but to have faith. And faith means letting go, not clinging on. Now, there's some good things to the Klingons, okay? You better cling on to some shit too now. You want to have an open mind, but you don't want to have it so open your brain falls out. So, I didn't really get into too much of the exoteric. This is just going to be a public announcement to get people's minds on track. Let's get these minds on track. And we can talk about the deeper stuff later.